This week on The Happy House, presented by Creative Kids Stuff, make beautiful pillows with recycled materials and learn how to make handcrafted cocktails your guests will love.
And so you can add this to cocktails, but then you could also drizzle it on pancakes. And we can also make a non-alcoholic drink by adding it to like bubble water too.
Finally, learn about a unique toy that combines art and construction. You won't want to miss it. Hi, I'm Happy. I live in a quiet town outside of Minneapolis with my family. The real Happy House is far from quiet. I learned early on things are much easier with a little help. I also have a few tricks of my own to share. It's go time, people. Welcome to the Happy House. I love to change things out in my home. I often get tired of the same accessories, and pillows are a great way to give a room a new look. I'm with Beth Huntington today, the Renegade Seamstress, and you are going to show me a way to do some repurposing and make some fresh pillows for my home, because pillows actually are very expensive when you go to buy them in the store. They can be really pricey. So let's get started. I'm excited about this.
Okay, well, one way that you can refresh your pillows is using a sweater, and you can redo a sweater. I chose this one to do today because I really liked the cable knit, and I think that's really a nice look. So rather than going out and spending all the time to knit a new cover, you can actually make one from a sweater.
I have a pillow like this that I did knit, and I'm getting a sense that this is going to be a lot faster process than my pillow. Okay.
It'll be very fast. So you measure your pillow, and this one happens to be 15 inches by 15 inches. So you want to add an inch, so you can have a 1/2 inch seam on each side. So you're going to cut out a 16 by 16 inch square from your sweater.
Okay.
So you can take your measuring tape and just measure right where you want to cut, and I'll just cut right up those edges here.
So we're using a scissors and cutting sweater. I think the big question people have is this going to unravel?
Right, and I get that question all the time, and no, if you just left it undone and washed it, yes, it would definitely ravel. But since you're going to be sewing a seam in it, then you're fine, and you can just leave it undone. If you have a serger or something, that's even better, but you can use a regular machine.
A regular sewing machine, okay.
You can just use a regular sewing machine.
And really, so far, this is really simple. We just laid out the tape. You weren't even that exact with your measurements, because since it's a sweater, if we sew it sort of to form, it's going to stretch a little bit. So we've got some play, which I like. That's the kind of project I like.
Yes, and you can just be pretty creative with it however you want. So this one kind of goes right up to the edge here of the sweater. And this one's pretty thick, so you have to make sure you have very sharp scissors.
This would be a great winter accessory for your home.
And then make sure you save the sleeve, because I'm going to show you what you can do with the sleeve in a little bit. So set that aside. So the next thing that you'll want to do is take your 2 squares that you cut out of your sweater fabric and place them right sides together. And right sides just meaning what would actually be showing on the outside of your sweater.
Okay.
And so place them together and put the finished edge of the bottom of the sweater. You're going to still.
You want to make sure those line up, because we're going to do something with that later.
Right. And what you'll do, you can pin it together, or you can just sew it.
Just go for it.
You can just go for it. And you're going to put a 1/2 inch seam starting at one side of the bottom and go all the way up, and then across the top, and then back down the other side.
All right.
So we'll do that, and we'll start at the bottom here.
Oh, let me get this out of your way.
Okay.
Looks easy enough. So nice and slow. I mean, you don't want to rip through this.
No, you don't need to go fast. Get to the corner and just change. Okay. So then you're just going to turn it right side out. Pull out all, you can pull that side out, I'll pull this side out. And just poke out the corners. You could trim it if you want to. And then, so you've got that for you could use that side, or even the other side is cute too.
Well, they'll both, I mean, they'll both show.
And then you tuck your pillow inside. And you don't even have to take the other cover off. You can just leave that on if you want to put it back out the next season, or just put it in like that. And then for the ends, there's a lot of different ways that you can close up the end. You could hand sew it if you wanted it to be completely covered and you didn't want to show anything. Or you could actually just attach a few buttons. These would be
really
fun,
cute with this.
little leather buttons.
So
and then,
sew them on and simply snip them when you want to take the cover off.
yeah. Or any kind of a pin. You could use like a big decorative safety pin and
really
pin
cute.
that too. That would be really cute on the end. And so lots of different ways you can have it be like,
Great.
closed up. And there you
What a
go.
really cute pillow. All right. And we've got a couple of other options here. There's this sweater, if you, so that it would be really fun to go to your thrift store, get a whole bunch of a variety of patterns of sweaters and sew something. Also, making if somebody's been somewhere special, maybe outgrew a t-shirt or something like that, you could certainly use a t-shirt to cover a pillow.
Yeah, a sports team
Yes,
t-shirt or
that
something
would
for
be
your
really
kids.
cute.
That'd be cute on their bed.
So I see we've got some leftover parts.
Yes.
And I also see we have this, which isn't typically something we have in our sewing segments. So what are we going to do now?
Well, with the sleeve that you cut off, you can actually make a little gift bag for a bottle of wine if you want.
That's so
for
smart.
Christmas.
I love how you use everything.
Right, you'd be
Nothing
almost
goes
using
wasted.
everything
Yes.
there. So basically, you would just, see how much of the sleeve that you wanted to keep on there.
Okay.
And then you would cut out about right here, just cut it off with the scissors. And then you would do just like we did with the sweater, where you turn it inside out and sew along the bottom. So you just turn it right side out, and then you can just sew the bottom seam. And about a ½ inch again is fine. And I didn't pin it. And then turn it right side out again.
What a nice way to present somebody with a special bottle of wine. That is so cute.
And then just whatever color ribbon you want.
Or even a piece of fabric would be really cute.
Sure. And then just tie it around there. Tighten a bow. You could put a little gift card on there too if you wanted to. And there you have your sleeve, your little wine
That looks
bottle.
so great. So pretty. Beth, these ideas are great and easy and also very inexpensive, which is what I love about the projects we do together. So thank you so much for coming, and come back again.
Thank you, I will. I enjoy it.
After these messages, we're in the kitchen, but we're not cooking. We are making delicious cocktails. You don't want to miss it.
Entertaining is one of my very favorite things to do. I love having friends over. And when I do have a party, I always like to have a signature cocktail to frame up the evening. I'm here with our family food expert, Alice Seufert, and she is going to give me some fresh ideas on cocktails that I can create for my guests.
Yes.
All right, so
Hi.
let's get started.
Well, I'm going to show you today how you can make a signature cocktail, which you like to do when you entertain, but make it super easy and year-round. So we're going to make a strawberry syrup first. And I love doing the strawberry syrup because when guests come over, they're expecting, a regular cocktail, probably one of their favorites, like a gin and tonic or something. But here we're taking a strawberry syrup, and when you bring that out, the guests really think that it's pretty spectacular and that you've gone some extra effort to make a really fun cocktail for them. I'll pour you a little glass of it so you could see.
Okay.
And so you can add this to cocktails, but then you could also drizzle it on pancakes. And we can also make a non-alcoholic drink by adding it to like bubble water too.
It's really good. I can taste how fresh it is
Yeah.
too. Okay, I'm ready to learn.
Okay, let's go make it. So on the stove here, I have about 2 pounds of strawberries, and all I did was just take off the stems and cut them in half. And then I added about a ½ cup of sugar and 2 cups of water and just brought it to a boil.
Okay.
And I also like to add a little bit of vanilla bean extract too.
And this came to a boil, but now we've got it kind of simmer, right?
Yep, simmering, and I let it like cool down just a little bit, and then we'll take it over and I'll show you. We put it in a mesh strainer and just kind of let it sit there and let all this beautiful syrup come out. You know, sometimes it's frustrating when you want to know time duration, but sometimes it's a visual thing with cooking too. And I think especially when you're making strawberry syrup, you can see like all the color is coming out of the berries now.
Yes.
So it's a really, really light pink, and that means it's ready. It's ready for you to make the syrup. So
Now is it time to make our cocktails?
it is.
All right.
So the first drink that we're gonna make is a mojito. So people love mojitos, and so this is an easy way to incorporate the strawberry syrup into that. So I'll have you just start with, you wanna find something in your house that you can muddle the mint with. And so I'll just take a bunch of mint leaves like this, and let's put some
Lime.
lime wedges, a little bit of sugar.
And I like how we're doing things today because this is my style of cooking. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, not exact measurements necessarily.
Right, and I think too, I'll have you get started if you want to muddle that.
Okay. And I'm just using this spoon.
Yep, exactly, just mash it down. With all of these drinks, you know, I think the basics as far as alcohol goes, 1 to 2 ounces per drink is a good ratio.
So it's like a 2 to 1 kind of.
Yep, exactly, yep. So with a mojito, we're using white rum. So Happy, what you're doing in there is you're releasing all the oils from the mint leaves and all the oil from the lime. So mash that up a little bit more. And then what we're gonna do is add that to this glass. And what I like to do is do the alcohol first and then add the mixer.
Okay.
So, and that's why I think it's important that you kind of, if you can get away from the rule following with drink recipes and kind of see, because you're using different size glasses. So pour that right in here. Yep, and you want all that in there. So I'm adding my mixer until it seems at about the right level for the glass. And then what I want you to do is pour in some strawberry syrup. So I'd say about 2 tablespoons would be good for this drink. I think that's perfect. Okay, try that and tell me what you think.
If I must.
You must.
This looks delicious.
It looks really fancy, right? And super easy.
That's good.
So we'll make another drink that's like a drink that you kind of find a lot of times at parties. So we're gonna make a gin and tonic. So here, again, I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. Like, you know, I kind of go like 1, 2.
Yep.
Right now, people really are into, you know, signature different mixers and different things. So I found like a cool tonic that I'm adding to that.
Okay.
If you want to add some syrup to here, some strawberry syrup. And then I kind of like also, you know, what you saw with the mojitos, we're adding in mint. You can find them in the produce area of your grocery store. Okay, so we're putting a little lime in there, and then we're gonna put a little rosemary, and that gives it a nice aroma. It's kind of a different thing to use that herb for.
Let me smell. That is delicious.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's very
It's kind of
good.
a fun take on a gin and tonic.
I typically don't love gin and tonics, but with this strawberry sauce, it's really fresh and delicious, and it kind of softens it a little bit. So
Exactly.
nice, I like it. Is our strawberry sauce cooled?
Yeah,
yet, do
let's
you
put that in the mesh strainer.
think? Okay, so I'm going to pour it into here. Is that right?
Yep.
And let's just pour it. It smells delicious. Okay.
This is a lavender strawberry vodka drink that we're doing. So the first thing I'll show you that we've done on here is, so in here there's grated lemon, a little bit of lavender buds that are edible, and sugar. So put some ice in your glass. Yep, get it wet and you can dip it in.
Okay.
How are you feeling? Do you feel like you want to measure, or do you feel like you can just eyeball it?
No, I feel like I can eyeball it.
Okay.
That's how I roll at my own house. Okay. I got ice. And then we'll do this quickly. We're running out of time because this has been so...
You do the alcohol, I'll do the lemonade. And then with this, we want to put in our strawberry syrup. So you eyeball that.
All right.
I have some edible lavender oil. And so I'm just going to put a little tiny drop in each.
Okay.
You want to just use a very, very tiny amount.
All right. I do have my friend Lisa here with me today. Can we invite her in to have a
let's
sip of
invite
our
her over
cocktail?
to have a drink.
All right. What are you going to try?
I'll try the lemonade.
All right.
Lavender.
Lemonade.
Looks delicious.
I'm going to try that again too. I'm going to try that too. What are you going to pick?
Gin and tonic for
All
me.
right. Yeah. Cheers, ladies.
Cheers, ladies.
Thank you. That is delicious.
Oh my gosh.
Alice, thank you so much. This has been fun
Thanks.
and educational, but I feel excited to have some people over soon.
Yeah, thanks.
After these messages, learn about a unique toy that combines art and construction. Ella and Chandler and I were invited for a behind-the-scenes tour of YOXO, a unique toy that combines art and construction. And there's also another thing that's very special about it. Let's learn more. Hello.
Welcome.
Hi, Jeff. Thanks for inviting us.
Thanks for coming. This is YOXO. Have you heard of YOXO before?
What are you going to show us today, Jeff? We're excited.
So this is YOXO. These are all the toys we make. Everything from dragons to a giant Pegasus, robots, helicopters, cars, dune buggy, you name it. Which one's your favorite?
Pegasus.
The Pegasus.
I like the dragon, and I have the dune.
You have the dune. Cool. So the thing about YOXO is that it's completely creative. You can make anything. It's also recyclable. So you can use it for years and years and years. And then when you're done with it, you recycle it instead of putting it in the landfill like other toys.
It says it right there.
Exactly. Eco awesome.
Creative construction kits.
Creative construction kits. It's all about your brain, making your brains bigger. And then you can make stuff like this, but you can also make huge things like this tower. It's 15 feet of YOXO. And we're building an even bigger one right now.
You wonder how they made that?
Yeah.
How did we make it? Well, Teresa and Rory, who are around the corner, should we ask them? Let's ask Teresa and Rory.
A lot of different cardboard tubes you can see, and a lot of our play pieces that we use for play dates and stuff. It went together with me and one of my coworkers.
So the thing about building a tower that big out of YOXO is you build it from the bottom up. So you build, and then you lift it up, put another layer on, lift it up, put another layer on. Now what do you notice? What's that tower made out of?
Cardboard.
That's the other big deal, is that YOXO works with stuff you have around your house like paper towel rolls and toilet paper tubes. So this is the design area. This is where all the YOXO kits and all of our packaging and everything is designed. And so Kelly, who's right here, is working on instructions. So she's actually designing instructions for new kits. Anne manages all sorts of different projects around YOXO, making sure that things are coming in, all the pieces and parts that make YOXO happen. And this is where we make YOXO. So the other thing that's special about YOXO is that it's made right here in Minnesota, believe it or not. Very, very few toys that are sold in the U.S. are actually made in the U.S., so we're special.
Hey, Jeff, how did you get the idea for YOXO, or what inspired you?
So the idea for YOXO actually came to me when I was 8 years old. But it wasn't really my idea, it was my parents' idea. So when I was 8 years old, my parents gave me a cardboard box for my birthday. And in the cardboard box, there was tape, string, and wire. And I thought that was the coolest present that I had ever received. And so for about 33 years, I had that idea that, wow, someone should turn that into a product. And so I decided to quit my job 4 years ago and start a toy company. And what I wanted to do is give kids that same experience, that give them stuff that they could make other things out of, and to make sure that it was recyclable. So that's where the idea for YOXO came from.
Well, that's where it turns different from Lego.
Exactly. You can add stuff around your house, so that makes us different. Although we love Lego around here, and YOXO and Lego actually can connect to each other, which is pretty cool. You can make hybrid YOXO Lego stuff, which is fun. But we are recyclable, we are made in the USA, and you can add stuff around your house. That makes YOXO pretty special.
I love that component about adding things from around your house.
At YOXO, what we want is you guys to be the inventors. We want you to be the designers. We don't have to be the inventors and designers. That's your job. That's the kids' job.
I'm curious, what does YOXO stand for or mean?
When I invented YOXO, I was starting to draw how these things were going to connect, because I wanted to connect tubes using these links. And the first 3 links that I designed were Y's, O's, and X's. And so as I was sitting there designing this, I realized that it spelled YOXO. And that was it. It stuck.
How many ways can you design with 4 pieces?
You know, that's a very good question. We actually have an answer to that. We think it's infinite ways because, and I'll show you, because YOXO connects to itself so many different ways. You can put it in like that, right? But you can also just dial it in like that. You can change it. And so really, there's no limit to the amount of ways you can put YOXO links together.
Endless possibilities.
Exactly.
We always like that.
So one thing we do too is we have a lot of events. So you'll see we have these big bins with just like thousands and thousands of links. And what's great is we take those to events and then we just put them on the ground with a bunch of tubes and kids go to town. We don't have to tell them what to build, they just build.
Well, it says State Fair right there.
Yep, State Fair.
Master.
That's really great. Do you do a lot of community outreach?
Absolutely. You know, the best way for people to learn about YOXO, other than the happy house, is to play with it.
Yes.
And so we try to get it out into the world as much as we can, and to give kids and parents, and even adults who just like to play with stuff,
Right.
the chance to build with it, and then they get it, and the next thing you know, they're fans.
It's a battering ram.
It's a pattern. I love it.
Battering. Okay.
We see success for us is 30 years from now, there'll be all these new businesses and all these people solving problems. And you'll say to them, well, how did you learn how to solve problems and where did you get all these creative ideas? And we hope that some of those adults will say, well, when I was a kid, I played with YOXO. So that's what we're trying to do every day, to keep kids creating and to raise creative adults.
That seems like a good plan.
Let's do it. We'll keep doing it.
All right, do you guys want to play for a while?
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect.
All right, cool.
Thanks so much, Jeff.
Thank you.
Take 1. Take 5.